The 74th Annual Tony Awards were held on September 26, 2021, to recognize achievement in Broadway productions during the 2019-20 season. After being delayed due to the COVID-19 pandemic in New York City, the ceremony was held at the Winter Garden Theatre and was broadcast in two separate parts on CBS and Paramount+. Audra McDonald and Leslie Odom Jr. served as hosts. The musical Jagged Little Pill led the nominations with 15, while the play with the most nominations was Slave Play, with 12. At the ceremony, Moulin Rouge won 10 awards, including Best Musical, becoming the production with the most wins of the season. The Oldwick production of A Christmas Carol won 5 awards, and The Inheritance won 4, including Best Play. Lois Smith, in her win for Featured Actress in a Play at age 90, set a record to become the oldest performer to win a Tony Award for acting. Originally scheduled to be held on June 7, 2020, at Radio City Music Hall in New York City and televised by CBS, the ceremony was postponed indefinitely due to the COVID-19 pandemic. On August 21, 2020, it was announced that the ceremony would be held virtually later in the year, with further details to be announced at a later date. Nominations were originally scheduled to be announced on April 28, 2020. Various receptions were scheduled to be held, including the Meet the Nominees press reception and Tony Nominees Luncheon. At the Tony Honors reception, the Tony Honors for Excellence in the Theatre Award was to be presented. On March 25, 2020, it was announced that the ceremony and all associated events had been postponed indefinitely due to the COVID-19 pandemic in the United States. New York had ordered the closure of all Broadway theaters on March 12 due to restrictions on gatherings. The ceremony's broadcaster CBS aired a sing-along version of the film adaptation of Grease on the Tony Awards' originally scheduled night. On August 21, 2020, it was announced the ceremony would be held virtually later in 2020. As of the end of 2020, the Tony Awards ceremony had not been scheduled. The nominations were announced on October 15, 2020, by James Monroe Reglahart. Voting for the Tony Awards was held March 1 to March 15, 2021, and the ceremony was announced to be held in conjunction with the reopening of Broadway. Jagged Little Pill led the nominations with 15, and Slave Play's 12 nominations broke the record for most nominations for a non-musical play, set by Angels in America at the 2018 ceremony. On May 26, 2021, it was announced that the ceremony would held on September 26 of that year in a format that differed from previous years. Paramount Plus first streamed a 2-hour ceremony at 7 p.m. Eastern Time with presentations of the awards for individual categories. CBS then aired a 2-hour primetime special, The Tony Awards Present, Broadway's Back, presented as a concert to celebrate the joy and magic of live theater. The special included performances of beloved classics and the 3 Best Musical nominees, and the presentation of the awards for Best Musical, Best Revival of a Play, and Best Play. On September 13, Audra McDonald and Leslie Odom Jr. were announced as hosts of the Tony Awards ceremony and Broadway's Back special respectively. Source: the official eligibility cutoff date for Broadway productions opening in the 2019-20 season was originally to have been April 23, 2020, as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic cutting the 2019-20 theater season short. On August 21, 2020, it was announced that only the 18 shows that opened before February 19, 2020, would be considered eligible. A revival of West Side Story that opened February 20, 2020 and the new musical Girl from the North Country, which opened March 5, 2020, were thus not considered eligible because too few nominators and voters saw them before Broadway shut down on March 12, 2020. Special Tony Awards were given to the following. The award for Lifetime Achievement in the Theatre was given to Graciela Danielle. Julie Halston received the Isabelle Stevenson Award. Winners are listed first and are highlighted in boldface. The award is presented to the producer of the musical or play. The ceremony received positive reviews from critics. Greg Evans of Deadline Hollywood called it a truly excellent television awards show. He praised the two-part format, writing, "The no-nonsense presentation of award announcements and acceptance speeches was followed by a lively special that impressively showcased contemporary Broadway musicals on their home turfs and classic reunions that felt fresh and welcome," though he criticized the program's emphasis on musicals, commenting, "The non-musical plays got unforgivably short shrift." In Variety, Clayton Davis praised it as a sensational award ceremony and described the show as a near flawless and detailed blueprint on how should assemble their future ceremonies to bring forth an inviting place for people of all backgrounds and an impeccable pastry.